Something that's been weighing on my heart for the past couple of days now is just because something is scary doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. Or just because you're afraid to do something doesn't mean that it's the wrong thing. That's something that was weighing on my heart heavy these past couple of days, mainly because I'm starting to do things that I am extremely uncomfortable with, only because I am tired of being the same person that I've always been. I no longer want to give energy to things that have been proven not to work. So in turn, I'm having to lean into more of the unknown, more into the uncertainty of what the outcome will be of the things that align with the things that I actually do desire. And it's frightening. I'll admit, there's moments where I do get scared and I question, is this even the right thing? But then I ask myself, well, who do I want to be? Where do I want to end up in life? And I think for most of us, it's very easy to play it safe and do the thing that guarantees a sure outcome, even though it's not the one that we necessarily want. It may be the outcome that we're comfortable with, or we know, okay, I know what the outcome will be if I do this. But it's not the outcome that we actually want. Something that I have been applying this mindset to is my career, or my creative career. I make music. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not gonna keep saying I'm aspiring. I am a YouTuber. I am a musician. And even though I am these things, I still have to go to work a job that I don't necessarily like. I don't hate it, but I don't necessarily like it. And I have to put on a good face in order to pay my bills. And, there is a large part of me that is wanting to just get a new job and, or get a second job to kind of make myself feel that sense of security. But I've done that before. I've done the whole, you know what, I need to make more money, let me Uber. Oh, I need to make more money, let me start serving. And I'm just indirectly telling God what it is I actually want. I want more money right now, even if it comes from things that I don't necessarily find the most passion from or get the most excitement from. I would love to live off my music. I would love to live off of YouTube. But how much do I really want to live off the thing if I'm not giving all of my energy to said thing? And a lot of it stems from the fear of just not knowing if it's going to pan out or not. And I don't think we waited out long enough for it to pan out. They say that it takes about 10 years in any industry, not even just a creative industry, just any industry. Like even if you think of like a doctor, you have 4 years of undergrad, you have another 4 years of grad school, and then you get into your practice. That's another 2 years. So that's really 10 years. So really and truly, it takes 10 years to make it in any profession. It's just that it's normalized that, oh, if you go to school, you're guaranteed to get a nice paying job and whatever, but you're not. Especially after all of the debt that you get into when you do go to school and stuff like that. And this isn't about, what I feel as though you should do as far as going to school. This is primarily to drive the point home of things take time. Things that we actually want out of life takes time. And we have to be okay with it. I was just listening to a TikTok where it was, I think the person's name was Abraham Hicks. I'm not too familiar with if it's I think it's a her. It was a woman reciting it. I don't know if Abraham Hicks is a woman or a man. I don't know, but somebody let me know. Sounds like a man. But anyway, she was basically touching on just manifestation and overall just like what it is we actually want when we have like a fixation on a destination, when we're manifesting something. So like the analogy she used was like, you don't go to a movie and say, you know what, just tell me what the ending is. I have somewhere to be. And the premise of, or what I took from that was essentially like, we were so adamant about wanting to know the outcome of something that we kind of lose the stuff that we have to learn in order to be prepared for the outcome. So it's like, it's a lot easier to just say, you know what, I want 6 packs. I want a 6-pack. But it's like, you won't take appreciation for the 1 pound or the 2 pounds you lose a week, each and every day, one meal at a time. So when you do get the 6-pack, you know how to maintain it. You just want to do something like, I'm gonna get a BBL, or I'm gonna get lipo, I'm gonna start taking Ozempic. We want to take the shortcut, but it's like, why? Like, I think too much of what we do is we just live in our fears. And instead of hitting it full force, we run away and we, play it safe. I'm kind of sick of doing that. If you're hearing that beeping, that's my air fryer. I'm making fish, salmon. And I don't know, man. Like, I just don't feel like it's a good thing to be governed by our fears. Like, I get the survival mechanism behind it, where it's like in like the caveman days and stuff like that, our fears are what protects us from survival. But we live a very protected life now, where it's like we're not, well, depending on where you are, because obviously there's different places in the world, we're not really, having to fend for our lives on a daily basis. Like, really and truly, our fears are like embarrassment or disappointment or rejection from a job, a girl, or something like that. Like, it's not based in life or death situations. So the only reason I bring that up is because it's like, we never really analyze or be brutally honest with ourselves as to what it is we're actually fearful of. I think for me, when I think about the reasoning why I stopped giving energy to my passions and stuff like that, is because I'm afraid that it won't work out. But what I'm also realizing is that if I'm genuinely, the one thing that I did realize is that I can ensure that it won't work out if I actually don't try. I haven't tried long enough to live out or see the alternative. Like, I just kind of say, oh, one video didn't work, oh, one song didn't work. All right. And I've been doing it for a while, but it takes time. And we're talking about, the only reason I use my career and stuff like that is because I feel like that's something that it is going to take time. Like, I'm wanting it to happen now, but it's like I have my whole life to be a YouTuber. I have my whole life to be a musician. I have a whole life to be a creative. Why? Because I'm 25 and I'm seeing my friends or some people my age get into it, but I don't know their timeline either. Neither do you. Like, there's so many things that I'm looking at now where I'm just like, bro, why am I so adamant on wishing for lost time? It's because we don't want to feel the uncomfortability of the present moment. But that's all we have. All we have is the present moment. So when we're sitting here wishing like, oh man, I'm afraid that people will laugh at me. Like, what? I'm starting to build the muscle of just creating and putting it out, because that's really what you need. You got to have that unwavering self-belief for anything that you want to do. I use content creation because that's the thing that I'm the most familiar with, but it's like, I'm now getting into the mode where I'm just kind of forcing myself to build the habit of, you know what, whatever this does, I am completely detached from it because I love it. And if I love it, I'm sure there will be other people that will love it and it would also help them. And I just have to trust that because I can't sit here and say, you know what, this has to do 1 million views. This has to do 100,000 views. I have to get 1,000 likes. I have no control over those things. So to sit here and derive my happiness from something that is out of my control entirely, it's like, bro, the only thing we can focus on is our output and how we choose to look at the things that we stress about. Why stress? Why stress about the stuff that we simply cannot control? I'm making this video mainly because I feel like it's something that I need to hear. And I think that it's something that would be beneficial for you. Because I know that we all kind of go through the same things. It's just, we don't necessarily, it's hard for us to be vulnerable and say like, you know what, I really don't know what I'm doing. I actually am scared. Like, I feel like in today's society, it's frowned upon to do something courageous because it goes against the social norm. But it's like, what's normal in a society where everything is so abnormal? Like, we just came out of a pandemic and we're sitting here thinking about sticking to the norm. What's normal about this life? Yeah, man. I just don't think that it's necessary to live in our fears because it will stop us from achieving our greatest potentials. This is something that I'm practicing a lot. And as the viewer, I want you to practice it as well, because I feel like the sooner we start to embrace the things that we're actually fearful of, or where we are actually fearful of, is when it could turn into our greatest superpower, where we're like, okay, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still gonna do it. Like, yeah, I'm scared to put myself out there, but I'm still gonna do it. Like, there's only upside to doing the thing that makes us uncomfortable. Like, you submitting that job application because of a fear, or not submitting that job application because of your fear of rejection. You can 100% guarantee you will not get the job if you never submit the application. You see what I'm getting at? Like, I think that's the the crazy part. It's like we reject ourselves because we're afraid of other people rejecting us. It's kind of bizarre, but it makes sense because I do it as well. I'm trying to learn how to not do it, but I guess it's just one of those things that makes us human. We really do have to give ourselves grace though, because I don't think that, I just don't think that being governed by your fears is something that is healthy. Like, I think we are 100% in control of our thoughts and how we choose to see the world. And if we choose to see the world as this unfair and unjust system, then we will only continue to attract things that fit that bias. And I don't want that for you. Mainly because I've been that person that, was very victim oriented, where I only saw problems with the world and I only felt like things were happening to me and not happening for me. But the minute that I chose to decide, like, okay, this is my life, I'm done complaining, I am done sitting here and waiting for somebody to give me the push that I need to go after what I really want, I'm gonna make the conscious effort to do it, despite what it might look like to other people, because at the end of the day, this is the thing that feeds my soul. So I'm not gonna sit here and be shy about it. We have to really hit things. Just go towards it, man. Just really go towards it. If there's anything that I want you to take away from this video, I want you to understand that it's okay to be afraid. It's natural. Honestly, if you're not afraid of the thing, if your goals don't, I think the quote is, if your goals don't scare you, then they aren't big enough. So true. Like, there was a moment in time where like, my goals were so big where I was like, how the hell? But we can't get caught up in the how. We just have to focus on the what and continue to do things on a daily basis to kind of get 1% closer to our goals. And I feel like that kind of removes the fear because we know, okay, despite what happens today, I'm still showing up tomorrow. Like, I'm still gonna show up tomorrow. If this gets no views, I'm still going to make a video tomorrow. If a song that I put out gets no plays, I'm still gonna put out another song next week. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and just be governed by the simple fact that the outcome is not what I wanted it to be. I refuse to do that. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I kind of get lost when I talk because I don't really write these or script these out. I kind of just speak from the heart because I feel like that's the most natural thing for me. So hopefully you found a lot of value in this video and I was able to help you kind of gain more insight on what it is you're actually afraid of or not afraid of, and to help you better navigate, or not even navigate, just trust yourself more. Like, just trust that what you're doing is the correct thing or the right thing because only you would know. You can ask other people what you think. You can ask other people what they think you should be doing, but it's only going to be viewed through the lens of what they believe you should be doing. Just trust yourself. Trust that what you're doing is the right thing because it makes you happy. I feel like doing things that make you happy, you will never be led astray. So, in closing, allow yourself to feel the fear. But instead of trying to avoid it, embrace it. And continue to do the things that you want to do despite being fearful of the outcome. Okay? So yeah, if you made it this far in the video, I want you to have a great night because I'm posting this kind of late. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. I'm going to do my best to remain as consistent as I can be because I want to continue to provide, let's fly, man. I want to continue to provide value for you all. So yeah, if you made it this far in the video, thank you all so much. Until next time.